Holy shit. He said what?
I also heard Vice President Vance make the point around, he didn't say it as frontally as Governor Newsom did about capitalism, but I think there is a realization that for some Americans, they can't figure out how to make it work.
Right.
And I think one of the reasons that people feel like the American dream is more and more out of reach is because that reality is setting in. I think for Democrats, there's enough with trying to relate to people by saying that you scored like they scored on an exam, and I scored higher than that, I might add. But I think a lot of people. That being said, this is going to be a contest of ideas. And where I do agree with Governor Newsom is that we face a moment in America where not enough people are working, not enough people seem to have the skills. Dana talks about it often when we've got to figure out ways in which we introduce and educate and graduate a class of workers that whose jobs and whose opportunities will always be essential in this economy. We've got to figure out how we not only continue to produce people who can be lawyers and bankers and technologists, but people who can be good citizens. And I think the more you hear Democrats talking about that as opposed to talking about Trump, the only good thing about that clip we just showed on Newsom, he didn't mention Trump's name. He talked about the conditions he thinks people are living. And if you do that, you have a much better chance of not only being the nominee, and if it's Vice President Vance, who I thought was fairly impressive in an interview. He said some things about Jeffrey Epstein I didn't quite understand, but the rest of the interview, I listened to it.